Hey, welcome back to Clues by Sam. We have a medium one today and some pumpkins on the board. If you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily logic puzzle game where you have 20 people on a board and they may be criminals or innocents and give you clues. And use those clues to figure out who is what. And you need to do no guessing. If you want to play the game before watching the video, you can check the link in the description. And let's catch those pumpkins. So, starting now, we have Bruce selling us at exactly 0 innocents to the right of Oscar, our neighboring Wally. Okay, lots of info. There's 2 people to the right of Oscar, who is a pumpkin, the neighbor Wally. And none of them are innocent, so both of them are criminal. And now we don't need Bruce's clue. Now, Ruby tells us that both criminals above Zara are connected. So we know there's 2 criminals and 2 innocents above Zara in column D. But we don't know who is who. Now, Steve tells us that Hilda is one of 2 innocents between Irwin and Isaac. Where's Irwin and where's Isaac? Here and here. Okay, so there's 2 people between Irwin and Isaac who are also both pumpkins. And Hilda is an innocent, but there's 2 innocents, and since there's only 2 people, both of them have to be innocent, and we don't need Steve's clue anymore. Now, Hilda tells us there are as many criminal builders as criminal pumpkins. Okay, so we don't know how many criminal pumpkins there are yet, so we don't know also how many criminal builders there are yet. But we know there's 1 innocent builder. Dogs licking paws over there. Flora tells us that only one of the 2 innocents neighboring Xavier is Logan's neighbor. So Xavier has 5 neighbors total, and 2 of them are innocent. There's 3 more that we haven't figured out yet. So who is Logan's neighbor? Terry. And he is an innocent. And there's another innocent here, neighboring Xavier, who is gonna be either Wally or Zara. Okay. Now Terry tells us that row 2 has more innocents than any other row. Okay. We still don't know how many innocents there are in row 2, because we don't know about the pumpkins. But we know there are as many criminal builders as criminal pumpkins. Do we know about any criminal builders? No. Any more builders other than Bruce and Carol? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so there may be only 1 criminal builder, if there is any. And if that's the case, then one of the pumpkins have to be criminal. And if that's the case, then one of the pumpkins have to be criminal. But otherwise, all of them are innocent, so we don't know. Okay, so we know there's gonna be at least 2 innocent pumpkins. Right? If this is a median one, I wasn't supposed to be having trouble with this. Only one of the 2 innocents neighboring Xavier. Yeah. Oh, we know there's 2 criminals above Zara. So we know that Martin is... Oh, he may be. Martin may be a criminal. But we know for sure that Isaac, the pumpkin, is a criminal because there's two criminals above Zara, and they have to be connected, so they have to be either Isaac and Donna or Isaac and Martin. So Isaac is for sure a criminal pumpkin. And since there are as many criminal builders as criminal pumpkins, we know that Carol, who is the other builder, has to be a criminal, right? There are no other builders, but we have one criminal pumpkin. So Carol has to be a criminal. And that also tells us that the other pumpkins are innocent, since there's only one criminal builder. Lots of stuff, lots of info all at once. I actually did ask to be a pumpkin. Oh, the witch from the other day turned them into pumpkins. That's funny. I'm lost. Where did I stop? Row 2 has more instances than the other row. So we know that any other row may only have at most 2 instances, right? And we also know there's an instant here. Let's not forget that. And we don't need Hilda's clue anymore. Now Carol tells us that exactly one clerk has a criminal directly to the right of them. Clerk. There are no clerks. My scanning is terrible. Oh, there's Steve, who has an innocent to his right. A criminal directly to the right of them. So Steve has an innocent to his right. Any other clerks other than Logan? Nope. So Logan has to have a criminal to the right of him. I'm just confirming that there's no other clerks. Okay. Don't need Carol's clue anymore. Now Erwin the pumpkin tells us that I have more innocent neighbors than Xavier. Okay, so Erwin has at least 3 innocent neighbors, because we know that Xavier has 2 total. So Erwin has to have one more innocent neighbor among these people: Alice, Julie, and Kevin. Who's talking about Logan? Oh, Ruby told us that there are 2 criminals above Zara in column D, so we know that Donna is an innocent. No new clues. So now we know that Alice is a criminal, because no row other than row 2 may have 3 innocents, so Alice is for sure a criminal. And there's one innocent at least here that's gonna be either Julie or Kevin, but we don't know, they may be both innocents. Now Alice tells us that Martin has exactly 2 innocent neighbors. Where's Martin? Here. And we already know who are the 2 innocent neighbors, Hilda and Terry, so Logan is a criminal. And Logan tells us that if he is a criminal, then Julie is not innocent. And he is a criminal, so Julie is also a criminal. But now we know that since Erwin has to have more innocent neighbors than Xavier, Kevin has to be an innocent. Now Julie tells us that if she is innocent, then so is Wally. And she is not innocent, so Wally has to be a criminal, right? And Zara an innocent. But I guess that clue doesn't tell us that if she is a criminal, then so is Wally. Let me think about that for a minute. I tried to say moment and minute at the same time, and that turned into miment. Martin has exactly 2 innocent neighbors. Okay, we don't need that anymore. We don't need Logan's anymore. Kevin tells us there's an odd number of criminals to the right of Vance. Oh, since we know there's one criminal here, if Xavier were to be a criminal too, we would have an even number, so Xavier has to be an innocent. And since we know there's also an innocent here, someone else cannot be an innocent in row 5 because the row may not have 3 innocents, so Vince is a criminal. Now, Vince tells us there are more innocents than criminals below Flora. Flora has 3 people below her. One of them is an innocent, one of them is a criminal. So to have more innocents, Wally has to be an innocent as well, and now we know that Zara is a criminal. Good that I didn't act on that clue, because I remember that we had a clue like that some time ago, and sometimes we have a tendency to see or to associate what the clue is saying with the opposite of it, but the clue is not telling us the opposite of it. It's just telling us what it's telling us. We gotta look at what the clue is telling us and not take any hidden meaning from that if it isn't saying anything. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of it. All green in less than 10 minutes. That was really fun. I like that. And if you enjoyed, let me know and like the video. And let me know also how it went for you, if you played, if you liked it as well. I like the pumpkins too. I love that we're approaching Halloween. I want to see how it is at the day of Halloween, if the board is going to be all different types of Halloween themes. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with more clues by Sam. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see that, and I'll see you then.